how do you introduce yourself? Or when people ask, what do you have a little short story or what do you
Yes,
say?
so I do have a short story that I'll give you
The
my
elevator pitch.
career in a very short, quick blurb, real quick.
Oh, that'd be great.
Um, I started learning how to cut hair at 4 on my sister, Alina, who was 2. My dad is a world champion hairstylist. And you know how when you're young and you're influenced by your dad, you always want to try what your dad does. So it was just after carving pumpkins for Halloween, I decided to carve teeth and a nose and stuff into my sister's hair with my dad's scissors.
That's
That was my first
awesome.
ever haircut. We're gonna fast forward up to high school. Actually, it was 8th grade. So I'm with my best friend Dustin Reed, and him and I decided to get high one day.
Okay.
Tried marijuana for the first time, and it was
Okay.
before it was legal. And he says to me, he goes, "Hey, your dad's a hairstylist, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "So you've got it in your genes. You know how to cut hair. Obviously, you're smoking too much, you know." So he's like, "Can you cut my hair?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. What do you got?"
Yeah.
He didn't have a comb. He didn't have professional scissors. We decided to use a fork and those orange-handled kitchen scissors. That was my second haircut. His mom calls my dad about 6 o'clock that night when she gets home from work and says, "Hey, I think our boys were playing today. We're having a little fun." She knew my dad obviously was a professional hairstylist, so she's like, "Can you fix my son's hair?"
Poor
My
Chris.
dad says,
First thing
he
screwed it
goes,
up.
"Hey, I heard you were having fun with Dustin today. Did you do a haircut?" I'm like, "Yeah, Dad." He's like, "How'd it turn out?" I'm like, "Oh, it turned out awesome." He's like, "Really?" He's like, "His mom just called and wants you to come over and wants me to fix it." So he's like, "I'll tell you what, if you're gonna be cutting hair, let me teach you how to do it." So we
Nice.
sat downstairs in the basement for 3 hours. I learned how to fix a haircut. And that was probably my real initiation into hairdressing, where I started to like doing it.
Wow.
Then I realized through the process of high school, shampooing at my dad's salon from 8th grade on up through high school. And a little side story, my dad's salon was 1 block from my house that I grew up in, so I could walk there.
Oh, wow.
So I realized when I was 15 years old that I looked like I was 30 at 15. So I could go to the liquor store down the street, buy a keg or a bottle or whatever, steal my dad's keys to the salon and throw
Yes.
parties in the
And throw
salon
parties at the shop,
and
right?
get
My
and
kids.
get girls there. And that's how my like love for hair started. It wasn't really a love for hair, it was a love for hot girls that I got because of the hair thing. Then I went to college on an athletic scholarship, and I went to West Virginia University as a diver. And athletes have to be there 3 weeks before school starts. I had worked a bunch of summer jobs. I had saved up a bunch of money. I got to college on a scholarship and realized how much fun it is being at school 3 weeks early with nothing but athletes and crazy girls that are on the tennis team and the gymnastics team and whatever. So I blew all of my money in the first 3 weeks taking girls on dates. And I called home and I was like, "Mom, Dad, I need some money." My dad was like, "Oh, okay, sure, we'll send you some." A week later, I get this huge box in the mail. I open it up and there's a little sticky note that just says "Get to work," and it's a full salon in a box. No money, no food, no nothing.
That is awesome.
So
That
then
That
is awesome.
I
that's
opened up
great.
I opened up a hair salon in the dorm bathroom. Literally stole the sofa from downstairs, upright in the elevator, put it in there, and chained it to the stalls. And then I had 2 sorority girls that would take appointments for me during the day while I was in class, and I would schedule appointments for the afternoon before going out to the bars every night.
Yeah.
And so I started learning business in college through that process.
Right.
So then I just became an addict of hair and an addict of the business side of things, making money. And I came home, and my dad was really upset that I left college because I was on a scholarship for athletics, and he didn't want me to. He wanted me to graduate, and I was like, "No, no, no, I know what I want to do. I'm coming home. That's it."
Right.
Went to beauty school, and before I got into beauty school, this is where I think Eddie likes the story. Is my dad entered me in my very first competition. I was
Yeah.
enrolled in school, hadn't even been in school. My dad sent me to New York to train from his trainer on how to do competition hair. I was 19 years old, entered in my first professional competition in Boston, and I'm competing against professionals that have been doing hair for 10, 15 years. I took first place in that competition.
What was it? A cut, color, what was style? What was the comp?
A men's cut, color, and style competition. The color was done pre-competition, and then you do the haircut, and it was a 2-phase. So they always did competition where it's a 2-phase. You do the first one where it's just a style competition on longer hair, and then the second phase is a haircut and style on the shorter version of that hair design. So that was my entry into hair competition, and I didn't know, my dad hadn't told me, but that wasn't a competition in order to get onto the USA team for the world level.
Wow.
And when I won that at 19, the trainer, Andrea Teresi, came over with Sal Federa, who was the president of the OMC at the time. Still is, actually. I think his son is now. But he came over and was like, we want you on the USA team. And that started my career in the Hair Olympics.